good.
And we are live. Welcome back to Chart Striker, everybody. This is your host, Dana. Hope all of you have had a good day so far. Bitcoin is definitely doing things. Today is a special stream. It's stream number 200, first of all. And second of all, maybe a few strikers, maybe one or a few strikers will be, joining us from the Discord community, just, to discuss what's going on and so forth, or, just, hang out a little bit. So it's gonna be a strikers hangout today. Ralph, welcome. Glad you made it. So yeah, let's get straight into things, and then I'm gonna open up the floor for everybody else who wants to join and, just, hang out and talk. All right, so Bitcoin. There are some important things I want to share with you. There's something called a TD sequential, okay? It's the Tom D. Marks way of counting the candles, okay? By counting the candles, let's say from this one, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Meaning, on the next candle, if things are to turn around, it better happen, this week, before the end of the week, okay? Before the end of the week. There is still, like I've said, there is pressure from the bears. We're not blind. We can see that, right? But there's still a fight from the bulls also. Otherwise, we would have just, broken down and that's it. Now, there are some important things that have developed on the 4-hourly time frame, but first, let's talk about the daily, okay? Daily time frame right now, we have this going on, meaning, we have some positive divergence still developing. It doesn't mean we can't, come all the way to the lows of 29,000. It doesn't mean we can't come all the way to 29.4, 29.5. Very possible, but that nice divergence is still there, like it's still developing. The only way it's gonna become invalid is if we see a daily candle close below 25,000. I repeat, 25,000. So there's like a lot of room, okay, a lot of room for many things to happen. And this divergence will still be valid, okay, at the same time, right? So it's only going to become invalid if we see a close below 25,000. Above 25,000, this nice divergence that we see on the daily still is in play. But do not forget about the bad divergence here and there, across, different time frames like I spoke about yesterday, right? And on the 4-hourly time frame, this is the index chart, by the way. We are going to have a look at the Binance, chart as well. But the index chart, we already broke below this level, okay? And now we've been rejected twice. The past 4-hourly candles, they've failed to get above this level. But if we can manage to do that, now we do have some pressure right now. We do have pressure around 30,000, 55-ish levels. But if we can see at least an hourly candle close above this area, then yes, next resistance is all the way around 30,200-ish to, again, 30,450, okay? So that is what's going on. And on top of that, let me, before I continue, like there is some nice divergence developing also on the 4-hourly time frame, and it's gonna develop as long as price doesn't close below $29,700. It is still gonna be developing. But if we see any 4-hourly candle close below this level, that nice divergence we're seeing, invalid, okay? Looking at the hourly, the same. There's some nice divergence, going on the hourly time frame as well. But if we see any close below, let's say 29,680, okay, 29,700, it's still, around that level, 29,680 for the hourly, okay, just to be a bit more precise, then that nice divergence that is developing also becomes invalid, okay? As you guys can see, being rejected right at that, the bottom of the parallel channel, okay, which acted as support. So now it's acting as some type of resistance, right? We got rejected here, we got rejected here, we got rejected here, and we're failing to get above it. But do not forget about, what I just told you, coming to the daily, like, those 48 hours are going to be important. Not only those 48 hours, but, the weekly candle close is going to be important because, friends, let me just remove everything for a moment, hide drawings. If we see it, close below, let's just say $29,500, $29,400, okay, below these levels, and it fails to hold around 28.5, not a good look, because then, yes, we could see these levels. I'm just letting you know, just, so one is prepared and doesn't feel in shock, because the way the weekly is looking, it's not looking that good. And even the daily, even if it bounces, we're not, talking about, bounce that could break above this level unless we see a daily candle close above this area. But at least a bounce to, I don't know, 30,600 to 30,800, somewhere to that level, at least if it's a daily bounce and not just 4-hourly bounce, okay? Because 4-hourly, like I said, first resistance right around these levels. I can just extend this and we are done. Okay? Awesomeness. All right. So that was Bitcoin's chart, and now we're gonna get into like let's get into Ethereum, and then the floor is open for anybody who wants to join, you know, and hang out a little bit. Let's just have a look at Ethereum first. Ethereum, what happened? Did that resistance around 1920, 1940, you know, kind of play a role again? Yes, it did play a role again. Like, we bounced off this level, we got rejected around these levels, so I already spoke about this in the last stream, and now we're back to this level. It's gonna start, you know, looking a bit ugly for Ethereum if we see a daily candle close below this area, or even a 4-hourly candle close below, you know, 1861. Then yes, we could pull back all the way to the lows of 1800-ish, even, you know, a bit lower, very possible. But this resistance is nothing to joke with on Ethereum's chart. There are negative momentum on the oscillators. There is some sign of some, you know, positive divergence trying to build, which is not a bad thing. But for that to be respected, we have to hold above. We can't see a close below 1865-ish. If that happens, that, you know, actually 1840, okay? 1840. Any close below that level, that nice divergence that we're seeing is gonna become invalid, okay? Simple as that. All right. Let me open up the floors for those who want to speak. But by the way, guys, it's push to speak. If you're hearing me, it's push to speak, okay? Let me see. Okay, guys, on Discord, if you can hear me, you're welcome to jump in whenever, okay? All right, I'll be continuing with the rest of the TA until then. Just step in whenever, guys. Like, when you're there, okay? Okay, so on the 4-hourly time frame, we also have, you know, some beautiful. I already showed you on this one where we were going sideways. Okay, we broke out a little bit. This one can be tweaked a little bit right now because there's some new development. Hold on. New development. We change our ways. Okay, there you go. Tweaked a little bit. Let's do this so it's fair and square. So we're going sideways when it comes to Ethereum. This is not a bad thing. There is some, you know, positive divergence, you know, developing at the same time on Ethereum as well. But like I said, any close below, you know, this area, it's gonna become invalid, okay? This is on the 4-hourly. So 4-hourly, any candle close below 1800, and this is the index. Let me go to this one, 1880-ish. 4-hourly candle close below that level, that nice divergence that we are seeing is gonna become invalid, okay? So you know about the resistance, you know about the support, you know everything else, so all good there. This one, we spoke about it yesterday. I did tell you guys on the daily, this is a daily setup that I have in mind. But on the 4-hourly, I did tell you about this bounce, so anybody, you know, could, you know, see that it's like, if you saw the stream from yesterday, then you know about this as well, right? We came to these levels, and I did say all this is some type of buying range, you know, all the way up here. We're still holding above this, you know, trend line, but, you know, when it breaks, then support all the way down here. What else? Like, there's so much to discuss, but we're gonna just, you know, take it a bit easy today, a bit easy. Just go through the important things and things that you guys, you know, want to have a look at as well.
Yeah, I could hear you, but it's coming in and out. Sometimes I have to hear you from the live stream, but I hear you most of the time.
Okay, okay. Then you're already live. I think everybody else can hear you as well.
All right, hi everybody. How you doing? Glad
We
to be
got
here.
Mago with us. He's one of the striker community members, and also becoming has become a friend as well. Not just a member anymore, but a friend as well. Always good to find friends along the way. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out, share insights and so on. So Mago, what do you think about what Bitcoin is doing these past days?
Well, I think Bitcoin is trying to establish itself, whether it's gonna go bullish or bearish. Um, it looks like they're fighting. Yeah, right now you can see there's some consolidation going on. There's a lot of resistance around you know, 29,880 area.
Days.
Well, I think Bitcoin is trying to
Oh,
establish
hold
itself,
on.
whether bullish or bearish. Um, it looks like they're fighting. Yeah, right now you can see there's some consolidation going on. There's a lot of resistance
Oh,
around
Ralph, can you please welcome to the show, Ralph? But could you please lower down the volume because it's get because I was like, what's going on? Ralph, come back. Like it's okay, but we were hearing the voice, replay, like playing one more time. After it was like an echo. It was like an echo. But yeah, I can hear you clearly, Mago and Ralph as well. I can hear you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just saying there's a lot of resistance in the 29,880 area. So Bitcoin is trying to push up, but the bears are resisting. That's what I see right now.
Yeah, they are. They are. Especially looking at this chart, like they are. Putting pressure on the bulls. Like they did it already at this level, and now it feels like. But at the same time, I'm starting, to see signs that the bears are a bit exhausted looking at the hourly and so on. And then this, the daily candle count that I just, counted, like those 48 hours are gonna be important. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Tom DeMark candle count, but anyways, like I said, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So on the 9th, usually we see some type of a reversal, like if things are respected. So we'll see what's gonna happen in 40 to 48 hours. But yeah, I agree, like there is pressure from the bears indeed. But looking at the hourly, there is some signs that the bulls are trying to do something, and the bears they're still here, but they're losing steam.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to break through that area right now. It's going. I think it could reach.
The bulls are trying to do something, and the bears they're still here, but they're losing steam.
3285 area. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's this level is important. If we can see a close above this area next to resistance, we're gonna see some resistance around 30,050-ish levels, but after that, like, it's back to this resistance. There is not much resistance until this level again. It's gonna be interesting. What do you think about Ethereum?
Well, let me bring up my charts. I don't have that ready yet.
This level is important. If we can see a close above this area next to resistance, we're gonna see some resistance around 30,050-ish levels, but after that, like, it's back to this resistance. There is not much resistance until this level again. It's gonna be interesting. What do you think about Ethereum?
Well, let me bring up my charts. I don't have that ready yet. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm sorry. I thought I was speaking and something was going on with my mic. Uh, well, it looks like it's there's a slight resistance area in 1898, 1898 area. If it could push past that, then maybe it could go all the way up to 1922. But let's see. It looks like it might bounce. It might be bouncing right now, but if it goes all the way down to maybe 1883 and then bounce up, maybe past 1898 and go continue, it might continue going up. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we do
That's
have.
right.
Yeah, continue.
And I'm looking at 15 and the 5-minute chart just in case anybody wondering.
15, 15, and 5-minute
And
chart.
yeah, I was looking at that chart right now.
Yeah, 15 is looking so and so. Let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, this was a beautiful hammer on the 5-minute chart, definitely, 100%. With some nice divergence also in the 5-minute chart. I'm looking at the hourly, which tells us a bit more stronger story than the 15-minute chart, right? Or the 10-minute chart at the moment. We do have some. Well, it's kind of not the best. It's like it's kind of type B divergence. Like it's not the strongest. It's not the strongest, but I'm seeing signs that the bulls are trying to do something on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. But problem is, on Ethereum, if we can't see a close above 1,903 on the hourly, for example, or 1,903, it's probably not gonna see these levels. But yeah, on the 4-hourly, like there is no resistance until all the way up here. There is none, like 1,922, like 1,900, 40-ish. That's the range still, pretty much the same, But we're starting to see some signs that, the bears are losing steam. A little bit, the bears are losing steam. This is not a bad thing,
Yeah, we might have a slow push up on Ethereum going on now. It's probably, let's see what happens when it reaches 1,897. And if it passes that, it's gonna look good. We'll see. We have to see what happens.
Yeah, if we can pass this level, yeah, it would be good. Like I was saying something about, it looks like it's being forced. Like, sure, it's been going down, especially after this, signal. But the wicks to the upside, except for yesterday, and before yesterday, there's been wicks to the upside and wicks to the downside. Like there is like a clear fight going on. Let's count on this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of the same like what Bitcoin is doing. So those 48 hours are gonna be interesting for Ethereum as well. Weekly is looking decent, if I may say so. It's still looking fine. As long as we do not see any weekly candle close below 1,815-ish, it is fine. We could, if we see any weekly candle close below this level, then yes, we could pull back all the way down to these areas, very possible. Loss of 1,700 all the way to 1,630, very possible. But as long as we're holding above this level right here, yeah, I have this yellow box already drawn. It's pretty much fine. No worries there then. If we manage to hold above this level, it's okay. Let's see, what else can we find?
Well, I noticed on Thursday, New York Standard Time, from around 10:50 a.m. to around 4:30, around 4:30 p.m. There was a lot of consolidation in an area. If you look at on the 5 minutes, I could see that clearly on the 5 minutes. You can also see on the 15 minutes, probably in a higher time frame. And you can see that there's a lot going on there. And the last time that happened, and that was on Wednesday, it shot up. all the way up to 1927. So we'll see. Um, right now, it doesn't look like it may go up higher at this time frame, like from where it's at right now, but we'll see.
Let's see. Wednesday meaning summer. When it was somewhere on these levels. This was Tuesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday is somewhere
at
here.
the yeah, like from Wednesday, from I'm sorry, from last Wednesday till starting at around, I don't know.
Somewhere on these levels probably, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken, right?
and you can see that when it's consolidating there, it shot up, and this time around, it's consolidating even more. So we'll have to see what kind of major move will happen.
Yeah, something's definitely cooking. Like I feel like the storm is coming because it's been a bit too calm. It's been a bit too calm. Doesn't, especially when it comes to Bitcoin, like it's been way too calm for a while now. Like it's been going sideways for a good while. So I'm expecting something to happen. Like look at the sideways action. Like since the 23rd of June, all we've been doing is ranging within this channel. And that's a while now. That's a while. But the weekly, I'm not liking it that much. But like it's okay. It's still consolidating. But if this closes the way it's looking, you know, it's yeah, like bears are really pressuring the bulls. They're really pressuring the bulls. Let's have a look.
When I look at the daily, it looks like it on the Ethereum. It looks like it on the daily. It looks like it still has some push up a little bit. If you look at that measurement, it looks like it may go up a little bit from that. So we'll see. Hopefully, we get a a run over there, higher numbers.
What is a bit yeah, it does look it just because the wicks are to the downside and the bears are, you know, putting pressure on the bulls, like at the same time they do look like they're losing a little bit of steam. Like it's not like we're seeing, you know, full bodies, you know, and so on and so forth. So it is possible. What is a bit worrying is that those wicks these past 2 days, like the bulls have felt a bit more pressure from the bears, a bit more pressure from the bears. Otherwise these were fine, but these two, it's a bit different. Plus MACD is bearish, like the negative momentum and so on and so forth. I mean, if we see a close on the 4-hourly time frame, if we see a close below this level 1885-ish areas, that nice divergence is gonna disappear. It's gonna disappear. Like it's not gonna be there anymore. So we need to hold the support. It's very important that we hold the support, and it's been holding for a while. Like if you do this, it's been holding. We've tapped it multiple times, but it needs to hold for another, you know, 48 hours at least. Like, you know, just hold and make it. So the weekly candle close, in some way, in one way or the other, by hook or crook, survives this week as well. Because if it does, there is still a chance. Like the bulls still got a chance, but there's definitely pressure from the bears because, yeah, like last week they took over, they pushed it down after it reached resistance, and this week we will see what happens. It's gonna be interesting, another interesting weekly candle close, but it's been a boring week. It's been a boring week when it comes to the price action. Luckily, altcoins have been doing other things. Luckily, so one was able, you know, to take advantage of that. Otherwise, it's been a pretty boring, you know, action, just sideways action. Some call it a trader's heaven, but yeah, sideways, a lot of sideways action. Let's have a look at Litecoin as well. Oh, Litecoin, okay. Litecoin rejected right at resistance, like literally rejected at resistance, okay, on point. And now we broke below this level, but we're still holding this purple line. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we're still holding above this purple line right here. dashed line. On the daily, there are some signs of some positive divergence developing, but it really doesn't matter until we can see a close back above this, trend line. At least back above $100. Okay, if that happens, yes, next resistance is back, all the way up here. And after that, like I'd like to, for Litecoin, to go and hit the next resistance, which is around $130, if we can see a close above this level on a weekly time frame. But it's still hanging around, like not much has happened. I mean, not yet. On the 4-hourly, positive momentum on the oscillators, MACD is still bullish. There are some signs of some positive, positive divergence going on, but we have a new resistance on the hourly, which is all the way up here, around 94 to 95.8. So yeah, if we can see a close above this level, 95.6-ish, then next resistance would be somewhere around 9760, 99-ish. But yeah, I'd love for Litecoin to break above this area at least on a 4-hourly time frame, because if that happens, most likely that we go and reach the top of this box right here, this resistance level. Okay, but Bitcoin I haven't.
Yeah, there is nothing holding.
Yeah, excuse me.
Sorry.
Continue.
No, on the case of Litecoin, there is really nothing holding it other than a slight resistant area of 92.70, $92.70. If it passes that area or around that area, it should continue on. Should be a good run.
Yeah,
Or maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah, if it holds this this level all the way to around $90, like there is a chance. Hence, we're seeing a little bit of a bounce around these levels. So yeah, continue.
Yeah, so yeah, once it passes that area of resistance, then other than 90, like around I say $94, it might start hitting that place. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Hitting that zone, I should say.
yeah. We bounced off this level, we hit this resistance, but we got rejected. Now we really need to see a break above this area for us, to continue a bit higher to at least, this level 98. We got this resistance around 98. As long as it's below 98, there is some pressure from the bears still. But if we manage to get back above this trend line, on top of that, break this resistance, not much holding us until this level. After this level, it's good to go to at least $127, $130 at least as next potential resistance. After that, yeah, there are other resistances in play, but we'll take it level by level. But yeah, there is some type of demand right around this. I don't know if you guys can see it, this purple dashed line. I think you guys can see it. It's right here. If we lose this one, like support is all the way here, next potential support is around $85.5 to $82. Not that far ahead, but yeah, nevertheless, we still have to talk about it. Yeah, like the Litecoin halving is soon. I don't know what day exactly, but it is soon. It's right around the corner. I think less than a month left, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Yeah, 12 days left. 12 days and 8 hours to go. So it's not far ahead. It's not far ahead. This one was beautiful. I think Mago, you remember as well when we discussed this when Litecoin was around what, $60 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, around these levels. I posted it out on Discord, and then since then it's had a good time, very good time.
Oh yeah, I had a good run for sure, and that was good TA on that, showing that it was gonna have a little run.
Yeah, we caught it in time. It's always good when we catch it in time. Like hop on the train before the train leaves us and goes to the next destination and so on.
Yeah, that's the best time to catch it, just before it leaves.
Ralph, is it you talking?
Yes, I said good morning, strikers.
Good evening, good morning, good night, all together, all together. Welcome, welcome. Glad you made it. Your
Yeah,
your voice is hacking up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Ralph made it as well. We got the OGs. We got the OGs
awesome.
together. Yeah, we were having a look at this one. Howley, one of, the strikers community as well, from everything is, we had a discussion on Discord. He sent us, the link chart. I had a look at it. We were discussing stop losses and where to enter, where not to enter, what to do, what not to do. And this one was born out of all that discussion. This setup was born and looks like, at the moment, looks like it's being respected, which is good. So we'll see what Link does. Like, there is really no support until all the way here. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, like if it manages to hold above, 7.886, I can imagine it coming to 7.886. Like major supporters are on this level, but if it fails to break below 7.886, we might not just see this one yet. Just yet. We got the MACD that is bearish on the hourly. On the daily, it was looking fine, but guess what? We are at resistance on the daily as well. Yeah, it went up a bit too fast. And what do I say when it goes up a bit too fast? I do not like them when they go up a bit too fast. I want them, to build slowly. So, it's a sustainable move. When it goes up a bit too fast, I'm always a bit cautious. I'm a bit cautious just to see, what's going on. On the 4-hourly, we have some negative divergence, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there is some type of negative divergence on this one. But it's looking, it's looking fine unless this candle closes the way it's looking like it closes somewhere below 8.2. Then, yeah, bears probably stepping in and bulls losing steam. But on the hourly, we could see clearly like this candle right here. I think I've mentioned it many times, right? But it's some sort of a doji, a family of a doji. It's some sort of a gravestone doji as well. And yeah, like stop loss all the way around these levels, and we'll see how this one goes. Yeah, so Mogo, why don't you tell us a little bit on how you started with your trading journey, or how you ended up in this space?
Oh, sure, no problem. The weirdest thing how I started with the trading journey was, you hear in the grapevines about Bitcoin, mostly Bitcoin. Everybody's talking about it here and there in whispers and talks about, whether or not it's going to crash or burn, or it's gonna go skyrocket to the moon. And I was looking, I went online and I looked at some charts. It was some chart online. I think it was some Coinbase site that was, showing where Bitcoin was at. And at the time, I remember it was like 19,000. And then something just hit me like, oh, people are making money. Whether that is going up or going down, there are people gaining from it, or maybe losing from it. And I just did some research, and I found out that actually people trade. I didn't even know that people actually trade coins or cryptocurrency. So that's how I got on the journey, like doing my research and learning about trading, especially futures, because I like the way that whole system is set up and how you could sort of use leverage, but you got to be careful with leverage. It'll eat you up. It'll make you a lot of money, or it'll eat you up. It'll liquidate you.
Yep.
So that's something you have to be careful about. So I found I spoke to you about how I found your site before. It's like when I was I was basically trying to find any information about Bitcoin and who's trading Bitcoin and looking at live streams, trying to listen to what other people were talking about Bitcoin. And I remember I had my computer was on mute, and I was just looking through the channels, and I ran into yours, Chart Striker. And I just started seeing your mouse moving around and looking at the different charts and looking at the different candles and all that. And I decided, oh, I got my mute button, so I unmute you, and I heard your voice, which surprised me. And not that I'm saying anything, it was surprising me because the majority of the crypto space still, at that time was more, but still at this moment more dominated by men, males. So, but
100%
it's
true.
nice. So it's nice to hear that there's a female perspective, speaking, with your voice. I'm like, oh, okay, let me listen and see what's this all about. And that's how I started to subscribe to your channel and started watching and learning a lot. And what I most admire about your channel, and I think it was lucky for me, and I say lucky for me, that currently it will not, I don't believe it's going to last that long, but currently your channel is small, but I believe, and I really do believe your channel is going to explode one day, that you had the patience to answer questions. And I'm pretty sure I had a lot of dumb questions because I was not very knowledgeable about crypto at the time, or trading, or TA, technical analysis and all that. So that's how I got to know your channel and got to know you. And I don't have many friends in life, but I consider you a friend and a good listener, and it's a good person to communicate with. That's it. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Like, thank you for sharing. And yeah, like it's this space has its way of connecting people that are like-minded. That's one thing I love about this space. Unlike other spaces, like there's one thing special with the crypto space. It doesn't matter if you're into NFTs. It doesn't matter if you're into the blockchain technology, or building, or trading, and so on and so forth. Like if you find like-minded people that you click with, then you click with them. And yeah, like, because most of us are stuck most of the time in front of the screen, and so on and so forth. Yeah, if we have friends from old times, and so on and so forth, then we do. But with a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, and so on and so forth, then there's less time to meet new people along the way. Luckily, in this space, it's possible. Like, there are rotten eggs, like I always tell you guys, here and there, but I've been blessed, and they do say that you attract what you are. So I've been attracting the right sorts of people, luckily. So it goes two-way. Like, I'm glad, like, all of you found your way here, and so on and so forth. And then, like, for some of us, it's not only gonna be a community where we just do TA, but a community where we find a bit of support, no matter what support, just mental support, or just a push, right? Like, you always send some motivations to the group, and so on and so forth, which is good for a lot of us that maybe are having a hard day or something like that, or so for many other beginners that are just dipping their feet into this space of trading. And it can become a bit discouraging when you are losing, and so on and so forth. But the point is not to give up. Keep your head up, dust your knees, stand up straight, and make sure you're learning from your mistakes.
Absolutely. And another thing I have to add to it is that when I went to Discord, the first time going to Discord, is a maze of stuff going on, and you could be bombarded by so much information, and But what I'm trying to get at is being in your Discord. It feels like a better space because you got like-minded people, and you get to communicate, and then you get to see the charting, and I'm trying to get more involved in it too. So it's a great space to be at. I've been in different Discord rooms, and not all of it is comfortable. Let's just say it like that, for sure.
That's good to hear. That makes me happy to hear. Like, you guys can hear the smile, you know, on my tone, on how I'm speaking. On top of that, that is what I strive for. Like, I want people to feel comfortable, because I know there are a lot of flexers out there. There are a lot of people that have, you know, that let the money, you know, get, you know, over their heads, so they act a certain way and so on and so forth. I try to stay humble, lead by example. Of course, sometimes we get too happy because, you know, trades, you know, are right and so on and so forth, this and that. But it's important it's important for me to see that everybody is comfortable, everybody is feels free to share their trades, their insights, and not are afraid to share their losses and so on. Because there is literally, like, if you ever meet a trader, and this is something I say often, if you ever meet a trader that goes like, I've never been wrong, I've never ever been wrong, that itself is the first lie. That is a red flag.
Absolutely.
So I always tell people, yeah, it's sometimes it's like you like, I could be right in, you know, many times in a row, but eventually I'm gonna be wrong once, I'm gonna be wrong twice. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's you can't avoid it. Simple. The point is not the point at the end is not for us to, well, yeah, you know, have more wins than losses, but the point is to manage the risks better. That's the whole point with TA. Like, manage risks better.
Yeah, I think that's extremely important. You could have a lot of wins. I mean, you could be up to 90 percentile correct, but if you don't manage, you know, like, put the proper stop loss, you could, in one trade, could lose every gain. It could be a week of gain, or 2 weeks, or even a month of gain could be lost in one trade if you don't properly protect your, you know, your wins. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. It's one thing that people have, you know, difficulty with. Let's say they get in a trade, they make some profits, and it's good. They get in, and on another trade, that trade goes to hell. They didn't have any stop loss ready. You know, they didn't, you know, manage it well. They lose what they made the day before or the last time they traded. If that's what somebody's doing, then there is no point. You're gonna keep on starting, you know, in square one over and over and over again, and that's what you do not want to do.
Oh, I know that for sure. Especially when you start out trading, you do a lot of mistakes, and you learn from it. But it's always good to have a good teacher like you to show us,
Thank you.
how to
Thank
look
you.
at it. Because I change a lot of my trade setups by the way how you show it on your stream, so that helps a lot. I put the 4-hourly little mark there at the 4 hours just to see where the resistance is at, because you can't see everything. Like, if you go to a different time scale, like the 15 minutes, you can't really see the 4 hours. So it's good to have a marker somewhere to know, you know, where the resistance or the support area is at. So that's important. That's something you don't even think about until you see somebody else show you that. So for sure.
Like, thank you. Like, appreciate that a lot. Yeah, and you are correct. You are correct. When we've all been there, especially when beginning, especially if we do not have, you know, the right, you know, type of mentor, or we are not getting our sources and information, you know, from a what do you call it? Like, a place where, you know, their sources is, you know, legit and good and so on and so forth, because there's a lot of information out there, like a lot, like too much, but it's about which information is actually valid, which information is actually correct. Because there's, like, for example, if one is to bake a cake, there are 1,000 different recipes out there, but some of them might not turn out to be good, even if you follow, the recipes, to point, like, one by one, everything in order. Because the recipe itself is maybe not good. So, like, all information is not correct information. That is one thing we have to be careful with. And the only way to make sure it's correct is by back testing it. By back testing it. Whatever even I see on the stream, you guys go back and backtest it. When you guys backtest it, make like you guys can see for yourselves. Okay, Dana, what Dana is saying is making sense. No, she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's fine. But if you do not backtest it, and then it's gonna be more difficult for you to know what's correct, what's not correct, right?
Absolutely. Backtesting is very important, especially when you're testing out a new strategy. It's because you don't want to do it on a real account, because that's the worst. That's the fastest way to lose your funds, I guess. Yep.
And it takes time to backtest. It doesn't mean you're gonna backtest 1 time, 2 time. It's about backtesting it many times, like many times, because it could be right 1 time, 2 time. That's not the point. You want it to be right, at least 70%. At least 70% of the time. Because if it's 50-50, then yeah, there's a lot of things when it comes to tools and charts and indicators that's 50-50. And if it's below 50%, then you should probably not touch it ever again. At least according to me, that like if any tool I use or any indicator I use is like the chances of it being right is like less than 50%, then I put a little weight into that. A little weight into that. Yes, I might look at it sometimes here and there, but it's nothing I put a lot of weight into.
Makes a lot of sense, for sure. That's why it's good to backtest everything that your strategy, indicators, whatever you use to trade with that's important. That's how you build confidence over whatever you're using to trade with, It's important.
100%. Ralph, I don't know if you can hear us, but are you gonna join soon?
Yes,
He's
I'm
here.
I'm just
Oh, Ralph is here.
Ralph.
Hello guys, how are you?
I'm
Sorry,
fine, thank you. We're fine.
I had a problem with my microphone, so that's why I've been trying to fix. We just restarted my computer, so now I think it sounds better now.
Yeah, it sounds much better.
Yes,
Glad.
good,
Hear you
good.
loud and clear.
How are you, Mago? Hopefully
Doing all right,
everything is good
man.
with
Doing
you.
all right. Enjoying
while
the
ago.
live stream. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
le professeur is here now.
That's
So
right. We're here to learn. We're here to learn and understand.
yeah, exactly. I really like the way how because what you said now, I remember the first days that me and Dana we started with the TA, and she tried to learn me and all this stuff. So it's really, I remember all the whole day, like, but just it was amazing. Dana is a good teacher. She gave me a lot of information. After I enjoyed the Patreon up too, so I got a lot. I had like a meeting for
Yeah,
45
yesterday was
minutes.
Patreons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 45 minutes, and then like, yeah, it was really helpful. Dana is so busy, but now I had like a chance to talk with her, like just TA. It was really amazing, helpful. Many time, even when I watch the stream, so it's always I see more and more clearly the chart. And yesterday when we talked about all the DA stuff and the indicators and like the Fibonacci, she explained more because she have on Patreon the Fibonacci there, and she explained it live. It was like, wow, I never thought I will understand the indicator in this way, but with Dana, nothing is impossible. So yeah, she is great. She's great. Thank
Bless you,
Dana.
Ralph.
You are-
Bless you. Like, that is very kind, very kind. That makes me happy. And yeah, this is sometimes it's about you guys are making me blush. You guys are making me blush. Like, thank you for all the like kind words. Like it's you're giving me good feelings inside, you know, in the stomach, butterfly feelings. So thank you.
Yeah, in one way, we are like, yeah, we are saying good thing about you, but you are a good teacher.
Thank you.
You have the knowledge. I know you've been suffering in many years. So I've been there. So, so I know exactly what you've been suffering there. So
Yeah, Ralph knows about those sleepless nights and isolating myself from everybody, you know, until I felt like I got this. And it took many years, like until I saw consistent, you know, wins and, you know, consistent, you know, growth and, from my trades and so on and so forth. So it took its time, but guess where we are now? We are here helping each other
exactly.
out, learning, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Ralph, yesterday we had a talk about the Fibonacci and so on and so forth. I know your brain opened up in a different way. Sometimes it's about the simple things, but if somebody, I believe that if somebody explains things according to how the other person is gonna be receiving it, like for example, I could, talk in a very complicated way if I know that you're used to all those terms, right? But if I know that you're not used to all those terms, then I'm gonna plan accordingly to what is easier for you to understand. So yesterday it was one of those days where I had to think once or twice about how I was gonna talk about the Fibonacci, how I'm gonna break it down. But at the end of it, for Ralph, I don't know. You tell me. Like, do you feel like the Fibonacci? You can use the Fibonacci like without any, difficulties. Do you feel like it made sense what we spoke about yesterday and so on and so forth?
Yeah. The thing is, before Dana, Dana had a lot of. She was so busy all the time. So sometime, and I don't want to disturb her. I don't want to call and ask and all the stuff. So I've been looking on YouTube, on Google, and try to learn on my way, and try to find a video about the Fibonacci, the MACD, and so on. The problem is, yeah, what you could found on YouTube, like 90% is wrong, or not wrong in one way. They explain in one way, but you never learn right, because you always this one say this and the other one say that, and like.
You mean because
You
they
don't
say different things and it's not the same?
exactly. Now when you like when I'm learning from you, I know I trust you because I know I know how good you are. So that's why when I listen to you, I really listen carefully, like 100%. I'm just there to hear every single word from you, and it helped a lot, because there you can listen for a video for like 1 hour, and after 1 hour you are like confused, and then okay, now I wanna watch another video, and it's like different from the first one. So yeah, you get confused. You never get the information right, and you need a lot of time. You need to watch like many of these videos till you get the point. So that's why your explanation. I said before. When I wrote here on the live chat, like best DA. I really mean it, because I've been watching others. Yeah, it's more they want just to hype the people. Yeah, we have like they show what they have.
I
They
think
have
we have an idea of who you mean. Continue.
yes. Also, I don't want to say Chris, but I mean someone.
Oh, oh, shades thrown. Shades thrown, like,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh. Like, I'm sure he's a good guy, but okay, shades
Yeah,
thrown. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, he's a good guy, but sometimes I watch, like what I said, I watch a lot of YouTuber. They are doing TA, but sometime when, yeah, it's pump, now it's pumped, the price will pump, and then the price just crash, and then they disappear. Why you don't, like, why you are you've been talking pump or dump, and then it went to the opposite, and then they just disappear, and then after, yeah, I said that before, and they never mentioned that they said this was dump or pump when they said that. At the same time, it went to the on the, like, the opposite. So yeah, but with you, I've been watching the stream, every single stream. It's, for me, it's like education. Sometimes I watch a video 2-3 times because I want to learn more the way you are doing things, and it's more clearly right now, the chart in front of me. So like what I said, I'm so glad that I met you one day, and I never forget the nights we've been learning TA. I think we've been sitting in my restaurant, if you remember, like maybe 16, 17 hour after after I finish like my work, and then I came, and then we sit in the restaurant, and we've been discussing TA, discuss TA for like maybe, yeah, 10 hours. We've been sitting there, like, and sometimes like it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I start work at 9. So it was always like that, and it was so good.
True story.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
true. This is true. Yeah.
So, and when Dana went home, so she continued what we've been, like, she continued to learn more about TA. So she
I think Ralph is breaking up audio.
Yeah, he's breaking up, Ralph.
Yes.
And you're back. Go ahead.
I'm back. Yeah, so Dana came, like, we sit hours and hours in the restaurant, and then after that, so what did you do yesterday? So she been, yeah, I went and I've been studying this and this and this and this. I said, like, yeah, you are, like, she never stopped. She never stopped. She been for, like, working on TA and all to do all the stuff we are seeing now on her YouTube. Yeah, it was like really suffering. She been working non-stop. She been studying non-stop. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph, for that beautiful explanation. And this is true. I never like stopped studying till this day. Even if people tell me, well, you don't need to study anymore. I mean, you're good, and so on and so forth. I always tell them that that is not true. It's like a doctor. A doctor. Well, we are not doctors. We're not saving lives. We're just, trying to learn TA and make money and so on and so forth. But an example. A doctor, once they're educated and they have their degrees and so on and so forth, it's they still have to update themselves when it comes to some medical education. They still have to keep on updating themselves. It's pretty much the same when it comes to TA as well. The updating, the learning, the knowledge never stops. You just keep on getting better and better and better. And I have no intention of relaxing and getting comfortable and so on and so forth, because the moment you get comfortable, you start getting sloppy, you start relaxing, and the moment you start relaxing, then your brain shuts off. So yeah, we had a lot of sleepless nights together, and then after that I used to go ahead and continue with my studies, continue grinding, continue reading and doing a lot of research, a lot of backtesting, like non-stop backtest, especially. Like that was a part of my learning journey. Howley, welcome to the show. Glad you made it. Complacency is the enemy of excellence. Never stop learning. Exactly, Howley. Exactly. Like if you want to join, feel free to join. Go ahead. We're just hanging out and talking. So yeah, Ralph is one of those who was who kind of met me in the beginning of the journey, and we had a lot of discussions and so on and so forth. And it is beautiful to see how he and the rest of you, actually all of you, have advanced since me starting this channel and seeing the feedback. It's been great. It's been awesome. It's motivating, super motivating. So for me, all this is a blessing. It's not it's not just you guys keep on saying that you're thankful you found the channel, but I'm thankful as well to find quality people. So this is just a two-way road indeed.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so just a short talk about Bitcoin before I go ahead and before we continue with the Hangout. Bitcoin is trying to do something at the moment. Hold on. Notice.
Yeah, I've been watching it, and it's trying to move away from let's see, it's trying to get past 29,954. If it pushes that, if it pushes out of that area, we might see something.
It's trying indeed. It's trying indeed. I mean, we just need to break above this level. If that is possible, then close above 30,000, 50-ish on an hourly candle. Then yeah, like not much holding us until these levels. But it is trying. This is why I said it's time to be a bit cautious. Yes, there is pressure from the bears, 100%. But it is trying to do something at the same time. So this is not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing. We'll see how it goes, because if it gets rejected here a few times, that is not a good scene either. That is not a good scene. It means there is pressure from the bears still. But right now it is definitely trying to get up there. Howley, welcome. Glad you made it.
Hey, how's it going?
We're fine. Cool, you could make it. Like,
Howley.
this is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Howley.
nice to
Hello.
be with you with everyone. How's everyone doing?
Doing all right.
Great,
Doing all
great.
right. Glad to meet you and seeing your trades. You're on fire. You're on
He's
fire.
been killing it. He's been killing
I
it.
know.
This guy.
I've been watching what he's been posting. I'm like, wow.
I'm in the red today. I'll admit that.
Oh, which one?
What are we? Link and Uni.
Link on the red. How come?
I think just a bad entry.
Oh, okay. Because you were the one who brought Link to the table. Like, it was looking good, as a setup to the downside. So that's why I was a bit shocked. But it happens. It
Yeah.
happens sometimes.
It's still early too.
Yeah, it's definitely early. And by the looks of things, it still looks like more chances that it goes, a bit more down, if anything. It looks like it. I mean, per hourly candle, strong, bearish, candle. For hourly is still looking fine, but if this 4 hourly candle does not close below 8.2-ish, then there is a slight chance that the bulls can do something. So it's trying to do something, still trying to do something, but the hourly is definitely exhausted. Like, the bulls are exhausted on the hourly.
Yeah, they definitely pushed up there for a bit. So yeah, we got time.
Yeah, sometimes the hourly chart takes, a whole day. Sometimes the 4 hourly charts, takes a few days. This is something that's confusing for many people, but it happens. It takes its time. Like, we just gotta give it time, be patient, and let it. As long as there's a stop loss ready, everything is managed, properly, at least as good as as good as much as possible. Then it's fine. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Howley, why don't you share, because I know that you are not new to TA. I could see that on your discussions and so on and so forth. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found the channel and how what you feel about it so far.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can't. I mean, I have a background in business development and accounting, so numbers are always fun. I can't quite remember how I found the channel. I think you maybe followed me on Twitter or something,
100%.
and then I just yeah, I think that might have been how.
We started talking on Ninja Alerts, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, so ever since then I've just been kind of, following along, and it's been nice to be able to pivot TA from NFTs, which is funny because a lot of people don't think that TA works on NFTs. But coming from starting doing TA on NFTs to now actually doing it on crypto, I'm starting to realize that all TA really is just discovering. It's just price level discovery. It's all about levels, moving level by level, and certain prices mean more to different groups of people than others, and it's just really interesting to see how that translates from NFTs to crypto. And it's been nice to be in the community that you've formed, which is not like it's not like a huge, there's not like 10,000 people in the Discord, or it's like, kind of like you're in like a huge group. It's nice to be in like a candid group of people that are all sort of, like you say, like-minded. We're all trying to do the same thing. I think seems like we're all pretty humble and like willing to learn. So it's nice to just be in that environment. So I just, appreciate that you've put that together. It's been nice to take part with everybody.
Like, your background is definitely interesting, and thank you for the good words and the kind words, and thank you for also noticing that we're humble. We try to stay grounded and just level-headed and not let the trades get above our get to our egos, give us a bit of an ego. And this guy could do that because he's been killing it with the trades, recently. It's okay if you have a red day now and then, but the trades have been good. And like-minded people, when they like link up and interact, like, there's only good that's gonna come out of it, like at the end. So that is awesome. And I remember when I started talking to you on Discord, this was on the other group, I was asking questions about like can one trade NFTs and so on and so forth. And I remember not you, but I remembered somebody else telling me that was like, I asked them if it was possible to do TA on NFTs, and I got an answer no. I got the answer no. So you're telling me that it is possible?
Well, in my opinion, I think really what TA is about discovering the important price levels, right? So support and resistance, where is their supply? Where is their demand? Like, it really is basic economic stuff. And when you start to like think about both how the microeconomic aspect of personal psychology interacts with the macroeconomic perspective of the greater market, and how people react emotionally to numbers in the market, I think if you approach TA with that view, you can do TA on NFTs 100%.
That's very interesting.
It's all about the floor price, right? So the floor price is just like the market price. And the floor price is really, it really means things to people. So when it gets to a certain level, you know, it sends certain signals to people that, oh man, this project pumped to this level. Maybe they're doing something. Maybe I should get in there. Their all-time high was, you know, at this level. Maybe it's got the potential to go there. So people say stuff like that. They don't even realize that they're subconsciously doing TA without even actually looking at a chart by saying that. Oh, it's been to this level before. People are buying it now. Maybe it can get to that level again. That's recognizing that there's demand at a certain price. So I think for sure you approach it with that mindset, then you can definitely do TA on NFTs.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So this is what I was wondering, but somebody answered, no to my question. But it's glad that you're clearing that up, because I remember when we started speaking on Discord, you were like, "Yeah, I give you a follow and so on, and if you have any questions and so on and so forth, feel free to ask me." And then we ended up, talking on Chart Strikers community and so on and so forth. And now, you're sharing with us a lot of knowledge, that is, for example, new to me, because I had no idea that one was able to do TA on NFTs. Now that you're saying it is possible, this is something that I want to do. So my next question is, are there charts for NFTs that one can do TA on, or is it only based on the fundamentals or the floor price and so on and so forth?
So that gets a little bit blockchain specific. For ordinals per se, right now there is not really a software that I know of for ordinal projects. BRC20s are technically ordinals. However, there is a website that you can go to that will show you charts for BRC20s. There is multiple websites that you can go to for Solana NFTs that will show you charts. I do believe that there's got to be ones for Ethereum. Like, I know that you can look at very simple charts on OpenSea, but I wouldn't doubt that if there's like literally trading view charts for Solana, I would be sure that someone out there has made the same thing for Ethereum as well. And just to add to the markets, especially for crypto, because of how small they are comparative to stock markets or commodity markets, like they're tiny, right? So market makers play a huge part in price action with crypto trading. And it goes the same with NFTs, because NFT projects are exponentially smaller than the crypto market, which is even smaller than the regular market. Whales have huge control over floor pricing for certain NFT projects. So if you really start to understand the psychology of which whales are buying which projects and which prices are significant to that project, then as soon as news comes out, you can automatically anticipate what price level it's going to pump to based on support and resistance.
This is super interesting information. So, in other words, this is a whole lot of one has to do a lot of studies and get familiar with the space, like really good in and out to be prepared. Like, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like there's a lot of study to it, right?
Yeah, so I studied for a whole month before I even bought my first NFT, and I started NFTs in October of 2021.
It's been a while then. You're not new like me. It's been a while for you.
Yeah, and I do consider most NFT projects to be wannabe startup businesses. Like, that's essentially what they are at their core. And the mint is basically seed funding or asking angel investors for funding. And you, as a consumer purchasing that NFT, are basically a seed investor or an angel investor into a startup company or a startup business. And if you can invest into NFTs with that mindset, based, like know what metas are going on in the market and look at it just like business, like what businesses are going to do good in this market. That's the key, in my opinion.
This is interesting. Like we're definitely gonna have a bit more discussion on this because yeah, like NFTs to me is a new. Like I've heard about NFTs for a few years since maybe 2021 or somewhere around that level, around that time. But I never wanted to dabble into it. I never wanted to dabble into it because I heard about a lot of pump and dumps and people, buying NFTs at a high price and so on and so forth. I understood logically, I understood that one has to be early, choose the right project, if I can say so, project, and then take it from there. But you kind of are giving me a sense of the ICO game when you're talking about NFTs and seed investors and so on and so forth. It feels a bit like the ICO time, right?
Yeah, it's a bit more nuanced as to choosing where you're going to invest. It's not, you can't really so much scroll through the charts for NFTs and be like, oh, there's a signal here based on this information and these oscillators. There's a lot of nuanced information that drives prices as well. So like when you can put the two together, when you understand how the nuances will affect the price action, that is where you can do TA on NFTs. And a lot of people can't understand the macroeconomic versus the microeconomic and how those two play a huge role together. Then you would, I see it's fair for people to say, no, you can't do TA on NFTs because it's not as statistical and math formula based where you, like I said, you can just scroll through the charts and find something based on indicators. There's a lot of like information that you have to like be really like if there's an indicator that you're looking at, you'd have to like the other confluence that you're looking for that isn't in the charts, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I get you. In other words, you have to be well informed and do your research, like in and out, and yeah, because it's a lot of fundamental analysis, as I understand. It's not just looking at charts, because apart from OpenSea, the way I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, apart from OpenSea, where you can find charts here and there, maybe for some. Usually when it comes to the ordinals, you can't do that. You just have to know about who's behind it, kind of make an estimate on where price could be going. About the floor price already. If you know about the floor price, then eventually it will get there if it goes high, and so on and so forth. Correct me if I'm wrong still, because I'm trying to melt all the information in, but is it something like that?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah?
no, you're hitting the nail on the head there for sure. And
Awesome.
like and really with like what prices are going to be important to whales too, because like there's so much price manipulation that happens in NFTs. So if you can understand that, like that manipulation that's happening, like why is this floor price dropping? It shouldn't be dropping this low based on some analysis that I did, then you kind of start to clue in. And that's why people would be like, well, it doesn't work because I did some TA and a floor price just shot down through a demand level that it should have stayed at no matter what. Well, what they probably don't understand is that there could be 2 or 3 or maybe even one whale that's controlling the floor and just tanking the floor to shake out people that are afraid to see the price go low. And then when the price goes low, people that are invested in the project buy it up, and they just shake out paper hands. Like it's a lot of price manipulation happening too. So if you can understand, like I said, all of those nuanced factors and put that into just, yeah, like how you said, sort of the basic supply and demand of economics for TA on NFTs, it really can work. Sorry to rant there, but
No, it's okay. We love those kind of rants. Like, go ahead. It's no worries. It's no worries. This is good information. Like,
Keep
not
talking.
only for
I'm
me.
learning.
Yeah.
No, keep talking. I'm actually learning. I didn't know the information he was talking about NFT. I remember when it first came out. I mean, it was more like people was using it as an investment. They'll buy an NFT and they'll hold on to it to see if it it doubles, quadruples in value, but knowing that you can buy and sell that is kind of new to me. I mean, I didn't know about that information.
Solana is a big one for trading like that in that way because of fees. You don't have to pay gas, right? So Blur changed that for ETH a little bit because they work where you can like deposit ETH onto their website, basically under your account, and trade on the website without having to do fees. But before, it would be hard to trade in that manner on ETH because you'd be paying so much in gas.
Yeah, ETH is a killer with its gas. Like
Yeah.
it's incredible, incredible. But this was interesting. This was a good rant, Howley, because for me, as I already explained, because when I tell some people, yeah, NFT is kind of new to me. Like, you know, not the word itself, not what it means, but you know, the whole space of NFTs, because I haven't put a lot of time into it. Mostly the first, you know, the first reaction I get is, what? Really? How come? Like you're in the crypto space. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean just because we're in the crypto space like we are, you know, into NFTs and this and that. But yeah, like I used to say that the first time I'm gonna, you know, open my eyes to NFTs is gonna be when it's, you know, built on Bitcoin's blockchain. So I gotta put my money where my mouth is, since I was saying that, and that happened. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's I haven't, you know, flipped any to make money out of them and so on, but it's been collecting here and there now and then. But yeah, it's been a ride. It's been a ride. It's been a roller coaster ride, to be honest, because unlike there's manipulation all over. There's manipulation in crypto assets. There's manipulation in NFT, the way I understand it as well. Sometimes people, you know, things, you know, drop in prices just to shake out some people, you know, short squeeze and so on and so forth, or, you know, something like that. And then, you know, the price continues in that, you know, direction. It's intended to continue. It feels like it's the same with NFT. Like it makes complete sense. Like there are a lot of people in the crypto space for some reason that keep on, you know, putting fear into people just to shake, you know, as many as possible out. And then they take the cake for themselves, you know, as much as they can.
Yeah, and once you see it happen to you, then you'll never unsee it. You know, if the first time you sell into that fear, and then the price just skyrockets and you're priced out, that lesson will live with you forever. At least it did for me.
I can imagine. I can hear it in your voice. I can imagine this. It's pretty much like some assets. Like this makes sense. Some assets, you know, they start going down. You freak out. You maybe sell them. I'm not saying you per se, but you know, just in general. Then one sells them, and after they sell them, like they pump the day after or the week after or something, and then they go out pulling their hair out because it's understandable. It is like this market, like where there is a market where one can trade. Be sure that there is some type of manipulation. There is some type of manipulation going on here and there.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't look at NFT trading in the same way as well. I mean, it's you're doing pivot trading or swing trading with NFTs, really. Like you're not doing same day. Like back when I first started doing NFTs, like you could mint something and same day that thing would rip to like 30 Sol, and that's when Sol was like $250 $300 Canadian in one day.
Wow.
And it would rip from mint like 1 Sol all the way up to 30. And so those were some pretty crazy days, but now it's a lot different, where things are a lot slower. You have a lot more time to the point of being an investment, understand who's running the project and where they might land in the market in 6 to 12 months. Like you could look at some of the big projects now, like DGods or whatever. Like I bought a DGod back when they were 7 Sol. So
Wow.
in that,
Okay, that's a catch.
it,
That's a catch.
yeah, so like in that sense of being an investment, like, you know, buying it and holding on to it for a while and seeing if it goes up, like that's definitely probably the better way that you want to play NFTs. But and then use TA and like price points, supply and demand as like where you want to enter or exit into projects that are already established.
So this is more of a at least a midterm thing. Like it's not a quick flip.
No, unless you know, like you got some insider information that there's going to be like some news about a project coming out in like a couple days that you're sure that news hasn't been bought yet, like there hasn't been a pump in the project. There's something coming, then you can anticipate there's going to be a pump. But other than that, yeah, it's definitely like a lot of investigation and nuances into who's behind the project, where is it going to go, what are they doing, are they just, you know, kind of doing nothing like most NFT? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not surprised that when people say to you, oh, you've been in crypto for a while, how are you not in NFTs? To someone that started in NFTs and is now pivoting to crypto, it makes a lot of sense because all NFTs at the end of the day are scams.
You see? Okay. Okay. Mhm.
Mm.
What are
Mhm.
they gonna
Okay.
do for what, like, I mean, like you've seen how people bought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs for millions of dollars,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Is there a Bored Ape Yacht Club movie yet?
No.
No. Has anyone that's not in the Web3 world eaten at one of those pop-up like Bored Ape Yacht Club like shops, and they were in like only LA, I'm pretty sure. Like no, like, you know what I mean? Like this whole like bridging the mainstream world over to crypto through NFTs is a little bit of a stretch. I think at the end of the day, NFTs are the perfect ideal intersection between finance, technology, and art, but that's where it's at right now.
100.
That may be the catalyst to bring people mainstream into crypto, but we're not there yet.
100%. I agree on that one. 100% I agree on that one. Like it is a fine line. Like it's a bit in the crypto space, a bit, you know, technical space, a bit on the art space. So it's a little bit of everything, but like you said, like so far yeah, we're not there yet. It's gonna take many, many years. By the looks of things, it's gonna take many, many years. But when it comes to profit, like you said, I agree. Like midterm holding, this is not a quick flip unless, like
Yeah.
you said yourself, unless you know something, like you got some information. Otherwise, this is not a quick flip thing. The D gods now, like you bought them for 7 Solanas. How much are they how much are they worth, like approximately how much are they around nowadays?
I think they just flipped Mutant Ape Yacht Club.
Wow, okay, so it wasn't a nothing burger. There you go. So
No. It put me in, I had to unfortunately sell mine because I got laid off work, but like it, you know, I got a tattoo, like a D-God tattoo. Like it
oh,
changed my
okay,
life that much.
you
So
see, okay,
Wow.
okay, you see.
it taught me to take chances, don't be complacent, seek discomfort.
Exactly.
Mm.
Seek discomfort. Exactly. Like
Mm.
don't be too comfortable. Like it's gonna get to you. Like I love that. I love that that tip. Like that is something that can work in life, you know, for many, many things. Many things. So yeah, I'm glad it like gave you some gains, you know, life-changing gains, because that is what most people hope for, but it doesn't come by a day. Like you said, you've gone through many ups and downs. You had to
It's
study
about
this space for a month, and yeah.
it's about perspective too. Like life-changing money doesn't have to be 6 digits, you know?
Yeah,
Like
true.
life-changing money can, you know, just be like a couple $100,000 or a couple $1,000 that makes you, you know, not feel so trapped anymore. So it really is about perspective, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because if you can you can also make those couple of $1000s or whatever gain it is work for you again. I mean, it can't be bad. You just make your money work, like I always say.
Yeah, don't. That would be yeah. I definitely took most of that crypto profit and put it into traditional investments in the
You
bank
see,
because
there
that
you
was
go.
like,
That's okay. That I
if I
love.
don't, then I'm gonna blow it gambling on crypto. So
Yeah, that is something that I discuss usually because the crypto space, the space that we are at right now, when it comes to trading, it's really all about profits. I know a lot of people are invested in the projects themselves and they marry the projects. For me, it's like trade it, don't date it. Like just do the most out of it, and then when you have a good chunk of money, you can diversify your profits into different investments, especially when it comes to land, real estate, excuse me, I said mark in my language, but land, real estates, other traditional assets, and so on and so forth. That is the best thing to do. That is the best thing to do because somebody wise used to tell me that land does not rot. Real estate does not rot. He was like, even money can rot. And I started laughing, but this is
yeah,
true. This is true.
that's a good point. That's a good point. It's funny you say that. I literally saw someone on Twitter the other day post, what are some good low investment, high ROI brick and mortar businesses, or should I just continue flipping cartoon pictures? And it got me thinking, like, yeah, like I should definitely probably look into like small business grants. Like maybe I can get a grant and then use this money to start a business. Like, yeah, I don't know. My brain is just doing a lot of things right now.
But it's good when if it's doing a lot of things, it means you're trying to open up other opportunities, which is the point with making money, because some people make money and then they just blow it off in things they necessarily do not have to blow it off in. But then when the money is over, you're back to square one. But the moment you start diversifying, you start making better investments, especially in the real life out there, land, real estate stuff, traditional assets and so on. And then you're setting yourself up for the future. Like it can't get any worse. There are ups and downs when it comes to the real estate as well and traditional assets as well, but at least at the end it is gonna be okay. There is nobody that ever buys land and then goes like in 10 years, let's say they buy it today, and in 10 years they're probably not gonna be complaining, right? It's just gonna get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
That's
love
that's
those discussions, like love it. Yeah, go ahead, Mago.
yeah. That's why I remember we talked about it a while back. That one of the things that I think that's missing in crypto is that yes, crypto is a place where there's the possibility of making a lot of money, wealth is there, but nobody really talks about what do you do with it. I mean,
You're
you could
really right
save
about
it.
that.
Yeah, you could save it. You could, spend it, but nobody ever talks about investment. And that was telling you, Dina, that man, there should also be a room dedicated to like what you investing and different, you know, parts that in different areas that you can invest in. And there's always something opening. There's always something new. You always wanna. I always think that the best investments are the ones that nobody knows about. The little secret investments, little startups and stuff. The new crypto or the new NFT or something that just peeking its head out,
The
and you could
new
just.
lithium mine that's gonna get purchased.
There you go. There you go.
That's what we love. That's what we should talk about in the future. Like some new or a room dedicated just for that too. Because
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm probably
yeah.
gonna put that up on Discord because this is an interesting. I think most of us are like-minded, and we're just trying to make gains for putting for the future to diversify everything, because today we got crypto here. We're still early in the crypto space, but compared to the traditional assets and everything else, we don't know if crypto is gonna be here in 10 years. Like with all the regulations and all the pushes and pulls from different sides, trying to kill the space in one way or the other. We don't know if it's gonna be here in 10 years, but today we know it's here. Today we make the most out of it, and then from there we continue on to other things. Like it's I agree. So yeah, like you spoke about that lithium. We had that lithium discussion yesterday, which was interesting. Like I wasn't keeping an eye on that. So when you told me about it, like today I was, just doing some research, just doing some reading. So I don't know if you missed yesterday's stream, Mago, but it was interesting. I mean,
Yeah, it was
don't have
good.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I missed it.
I
But,
found a company actually that is in an area where there's high chance for lithium. There's currently other lithium mines that are owned by other large lithium corporations in the area. And I think that if this mine finds lithium, if this company finds lithium, because of the geographical area that they're located in, close to these other large lithium corporations that have mines there already, there is a chance that they might just buy them out. And if that happens, their stock is gonna freak out. So I'll share the company name or the stock name in Discord.
Yep, please do. This is interesting.
We can keep
for
an eye on
sure.
that. I'll just link the whole documentary video that I watched.
Even better. That would be so awesome, Holly.
Great.
Because I think all of us are
Great.
interested, in these kind of things, 100%. At least all of us that are here and listening and talking and discussing right now. Because yeah, like I love it when all of you come from different angles of the world. And I'm here in Europe, and I know Holly, you're all the way up in Canada. Hope the summer won't be too bad on you guys. And I know that Mago is all the way in the US, and Ralph is in the same country as me. So yeah, it's good that we kind of combine whatever we know about new investments, new companies, new that have that are a diamond in the rough, like still not found yet, and we share it with each other because yeah, who knows? Like I have a lot of connections when it comes to like good connections, like legit connections, nothing that's shady and stuff like that. Like approved by the government and so on and so forth. When it comes to countries like Ethiopia, for example, in East Africa, and other countries as well in Africa, like South Africa and so on and so forth, when it comes to land, real estate, and so on and so forth. So this could be something that we discuss. If it's never bad to invest in countries that are developing, that are rising. The ones that already rose, the ones that already have a lot of investors in them, they probably are fine, but there are others that are on the rise and that want investors.
Yeah, I think that's something that's all too commonly overlooked.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing, by the way. I'm definitely going to have a look at that one. Tomorrow, that's going to be my breakfast with some breakfast, 100%.
There's a lot of other, to the point that you literally just said about like investing in developing areas, a lot of other sort of industries that are going to probably pop up because of certain things in that video. Like they're talking about, it starts off about talking about going net zero and the impact that that's going to have on the planet and how hard it's actually going to be because of the amount of minerals that we need, the amount of mines that we have to open to mine these minerals to go completely green is kind of insane. And there's going to be what they're deeming to call sacrifice zones, because like lithium processing is super destructive, right?
Yeah.
So probably what's going to happen is there's going to be companies and businesses that are going to form to clean all of this up. So that would also be probably an industry to keep an eye on.
100%. That was a good point. That was a good point. Yep. Look
That's
at this.
interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, because it's yeah. This is such on point because I usually think about these kind of things often, but it's not often I discuss it with the some people because everybody has a different mind state. But this is interesting. I'm always into looking at countries that are developing, that are on the rise, that where countries where I know, for example, China is investing in, or other countries that play a role, and so on and so forth. Those countries are interesting for me. So yeah, this video definitely gonna have a look at it tomorrow. It's a nice way to share ideas and insights and so on and so forth, because like I said, we come from different angles, we have different strength, and when we combine it together there's only something good that is gonna come out of it at the end.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Bitcoin is trying to do something. I don't know if I know Mago, you're keeping an eye on the chart at the same time. So
Yeah.
so on the hourly, it is getting above this level, but it really doesn't matter yet unless we see an hourly candle close above this area. This is good so far. But since prior hourly candle closed right at resistance, I'd love for this candle to close above this level. If it does, next resistance on the hourly is around 30,000, 50-ish, 55-ish. After that, recent highs. Next resistance is recent highs. But this is what I meant, even though it was looking, because you guys know I've been saying that I'm neutral. I'm still neutral. For example, that question that I had from another person, that was a friend. He's not in the Discord community, just a friend. So he asked me, he was like, would you be shorting around these levels? And I was like, yeah, no, I'd be shorting around these areas. Right now, I'd let it be unless I get a confirmation for something else, then probably add to the shorts. But until that happens, no. And the TD sequentials, hold up, let me try to bring out a chart with that. Hold on. I think I can show you somewhere here. Okay, found it. Awesome. Okay. Bitcoin, USDT. Here we got, it's a different chart, so no drawings on this one at all. But we have the TD sequential, counting the candles. This is how I counted them as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how many of you have heard of Tom DeMark's sequential.
No.
No, never.
No, not me either.
Okay, this is an interesting way to count the candles. Okay, so let's say, for example, from this level to this level, we went, I'm not trying, I'm not getting paid for this, just, letting you know about the indicator. Okay, not promoting it or anything like that. So we went from this candle all the way up here. This is the 9th, 8th, and then we started consolidating. So this is what I meant by saying, okay, like those 48 hours are going to be important, because we start counting from this one, the first bearish candle, okay, and then all the way down. It's 9 candles tomorrow. 9 candles tomorrow. It means there is a chance of a reversal after this consolidation, okay? We could take another example. This one started reversing on the 8th candle, okay? It went up a little bit. This one, you see, we had a run up. It came to the 8th, 9th candle, then starts consolidating a little bit. So you guys get the point. This one on the 9th, and counting the candles is important, but that's a completely another discussion. Just, you know, showing you what I'm trying to show you on this one when I started counting. So yeah, it's like those 48 hours are gonna be important, and I'd rather, if I was to add to my shorts, I'd rather wait and see if there's a close, at least a 4-hourly close below 29,400, 29,500 ish, you know, somewhere around that level. Then yes, there is a chance we could go, you know, to the loss of 29,000. If that doesn't hold, you know, all the way down to 28 6-ish, you know, somewhere around that level wouldn't be that shocking either, somewhere around these levels. So yeah, things are happening, things are trying to happen. And what's most interesting is this positive divergence that we have here that is developing. It doesn't mean it can't come down just because it's developing, but we do have some positive divergence building on the daily, even though all the other time frames are showing, you know, some negative divergence, you know, that's building at the moment. On the 4-hourly, it is still, I mean, it is fine. Like there is, I don't know, like it's still like the bulls are still trying to do something. That's how I can put it. They're still trying to do something, but any 4-hourly candle close below 29.4, 29.5, yeah, then yeah, I could probably add to my shorts or something like that. But until then, like shorting here, and what do I always say? Shorting here would be, you know, like shorting at support, because this is like, we can't deny that this level has acted as support, you know, for the past weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for the past weeks. Like every time we pull back down to these levels, like there's some type of consolidation, or we pull back up to this, you know, resistance level. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, guys, what do you think on the insight? Do you have, you know, any other thing you see that's interesting that you want to share?
Not personally. I've just been waiting to see what's gonna happen on this breakdown. If it's gonna bounce again, or if we're gonna go down to like 27, like down.
You mean to the loss of yeah, like this is still not,
Yeah.
like if we see a weekly candle close below 28.5-ish, you know, 28.4-ish, it's gonna be dangerous times for Bitcoin, because if that happens with a little bit of strength below this level, I mean, we're talking about it coming all the way down here. That is very possible, and we are gonna see that it is possible if we see a weekly candle close below this level. 28,500-ish area is super important. The weekly can come there, okay, fine, but if it closes below that level on a weekly candle, yeah, it's a bit dangerous, because we are not gonna deny the fact that there is some type of negative divergence on the weekly time frame. Same thing on the 5-day, same thing on the 4-day. Like I can keep on going, you know, like this until we reach the daily time frame. So yeah, there's a lot of push and pull going on between the bulls and the bears at the moment, a lot. But yeah, weekly candle close below this level, yeah, we're probably gonna see the loss of these areas, because there is no support on the weekly. Like notice, if this breaks, there is really no support.
Yeah, I see that too. I was looking at the chart. I say if it goes down a certain amount, it's just gonna go slip and slide.
Yeah, like that's it. People can start, you know, the bulls are probably gonna start pulling out their hair, and I understand that, you know, but until that happens, it's fine. On the monthly, I'm a bit worried for Bitcoin. This is why. We kind of hit resistance on the monthly, okay? In 10 days, if this candle, you know, ends up in some sort of a shooting star, not gonna like it that much. Okay, not gonna like it that much. Like it better like quickly recover and break 32,000, because if we end up closing this month with some sort of a shooting star, yeah, we are like, there is no support until, you know, like all the way down here, there is no support on the monthly, none. We're talking about 23.3, 23.4 as next potential support.
That's some good buying.
Oh yeah, opportunity to buy 100%, 100%, like 100%. So I'm watching this because just because, you know, the divergence, the oscillators are positive, the MACD is, you know, bullish and so on and so forth. It doesn't mean like, you know, bearish things can't happen. A lot of people, you know, confuse those, you know, green bars and MACD being bullish with, okay, everything is fine. No, lagging indicators like this is probably gonna follow whatever this does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, before we call it a show, like I loved this one, but let's have a bonus thing today. Is there any questions you want to ask me related to TA? Like Howley has given us a lot of good information, Mago as well, when it comes, you know, to mental things and trading and so on. Also, you know, Ralph about, you know, how it's hard, and in the beginning, people put a lot of energy, you know, to study, you know, beginning from myself, like let's say myself as an example, like it's taken a lot of time to come to this confidence place that I'm at when looking at the charts, like without, you know, indicators and whatnot. So yeah, if you have any questions, like it's been an awesome show. Like, yeah, guys, for everybody else watching, this is, you know, most of the community, they are here today. And yeah, if you want to join like-minded, humble people, like informative people, like that have, you know, their strength and, you know, that are willing to share their journey and so on and so forth. Because if I burn myself, I'd rather tell you, do not touch that oven because it's too hot, because I don't want you to burn. And this is how we learn from each other, you know, mistakes and the right stuff, the wrong stuff, whatever it is, right? So yeah, make sure to join Discord and so on. And yeah, guys, the floor is yours. If you have any questions related to TA, go ahead.
I don't have particularly any particular questions. It's more of that it's great to be part of a community like this, and I hope it grows, and it will grow. We probably get less of your attention when the
It
channel
will. I
gets
promise you, it will. It will grow. It
Oh,
will
yeah.
Thank
grow.
you.
It will explode.
sure.
Thank you. God
Yeah.
willing, God
When
willing.
yes.
This
When
is a diamond hidden. It's not even a diamond in the rough. This is a diamond hidden in dirt and just gotta be found. That's it. A
Thank you,
large diamond
guys.
in that.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
You're too sweet. Thank you. Like that's very I feel overwhelmed. Like it's good to hear that you guys do feel that way, because sometimes like Ralph knows how I am. Even if somebody comes and tells me you're great, you're super and so on, I try to stay humble. Like I could be screaming in my heart, probably jumping all around and so on and so forth, you know, of happiness, but you know, I try to stay humble. So humbly, I'm grateful for all your like all your comments. Like it really is heartwarming. Like I love it. So thank you for all that. Thank you a lot. So I guess there are no questions, like it seems to be, or is there any?
I'm good.
Okay, everybody seems to be good. Awesome. Like, yeah, we can, you know, any questions, we can discuss it together on Discord. So yeah, guys, I want to thank you for joining me today, for giving this stream a little bit of spice, you know, with your knowledge and ideas and insights and journey as well, you know.
Yeah, and thank you to open the space for us to share our. Yeah, it was great with Howley and Mago and you. So it's great. And for one thing, before you call it a show, before I talk, we've been talking a lot, but I said, yeah, it's not too long till we get the 10,000 people.
Ralph, you're breaking out.
Yeah, we lost audio.
It's like it's crazy. Like sometimes I laugh with them. I go like, you live like in one of the biggest cities in Europe, and still you like you lose network. And he starts laughing, so it's probably his internet just playing games with him as usual. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for us to see our journeys, whether it be the channel Chart Striker or your journeys. Like I can't wait, to see, to talk, to talk about where we started and where we ended up in a few years. It's gonna be interesting. May God, bring us to that time. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Like much love to all of you, and I'll talk on Discord as usual. And yeah, we'll probably do this maybe once a month or maybe once a week. We'll see, depending on the mood and so on. Because I really enjoyed this. Like it was a really interesting, stream in different ways for myself. So I hope you feel the same way too. And yeah, guys, for those of you who are watching this tomorrow or something like that, or any other day, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find value in the stream. Like today we had a lot of valuable information, so I hope you find value in it. And make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and show your support in that way. And for those of you who want to join Patreon, you can join in the beginning of the month. This is for your own sake. You are free to join whenever you like, but for your own sake, since you're gonna get charged again at the beginning of the next month, I don't want you to do it this week, okay? So in the beginning of the month is much better, all right? And there I share some, tutorials on some TA and so on and so forth. So yeah, like Discord is down on the description box. I'm getting a bit tired. Okay, description box and Patreon. And yeah, like much love to all of you. Stay safe. Thank you for all the love, the likes, and those of you who joined today. And I'll see you on the next one. Good night.
Good night.